Greece is a piece of land by the Mediterranean. It's covered with mountains and people hanging around being Greek with each other, but they don't really call themselves that. Their neighbors live here, and they're extra important because they trade with Egypt. Greece starts to get salty that their neighbors are cooler than them, so they conquer them. Greece starts building really beautiful palaces on mountains, but their most favorite palace is here, is where they hide all their gold. Right as they start getting the hang of things, the year 1200 BC calls. Hey, it's global warming. Things start heating up in the world, and northerners come down south to vacay, and by vacay, I mean kill everyone. 400 years go by, and things are bad, like really bad. Greece loses culture, government, crafts, there's famine, and then things quiet down. What's that noise? It's people tending to their farms. There are a bunch of farmers all over the place, and they don't really like each other. Unless they are attacked, then they really like each other. Greece gets so good at fighting, they eventually create a government around fighting. And then the two biggest governments are these guys. Knock knock, it's Persia, and they just conquered part of Greece. Some Greeks get mad and burn down a Persian city, but Athens and Sparta are keeping out because they're really starting to care about their image. Persia is so upset over their city, they want Greece. So they send over a couple guys, and all of them surrender except Athens and Sparta. So Persia and Greece decide to fight out here, but Sparta doesn't show. Persia and Athens are about to face off. Everyone's got their money on Persia because they're bigger. But surprise, Athens wins. 10 years go by and Persia is still salty, so Xerxes comes over to fight it out. But they lose and Persia gets to Athens and burns it down. And then Greece kills a few more Persians and Xerxes is like, okay, I think I've had enough, bro, and leaves. Greece is so happy they won, they rebuild Athens and create something called democracy. All of Greece decides they need to unify, so they create the Delian League, but Athens crashes the party and starts taxing everyone. I'm talking about books, art, contrapasta, naked ladies, symmetrical naked ladies. Oh, did I mention that Sparta isn't part of the league? In fact, it's not even called that anymore. Athens kinda renamed it, and the empire keeps growing and growing, and it's kinda getting on Sparta's nerves. Can you maybe chill? Said Sparta. Why don't maybe you chill? Replied Athens. So they both chill out together, over a nice bloody war. Surprise! Nobody wins, and Greece feels bad for attacking itself. But the Poles still can't make up their minds, and this kid named Little Phil moves to Macedonia. He was actually born there, but yeah. So Philip becomes king and turns a really Greek. He builds this really big army and is excited to try it out on someone. He notices Greece keeps arguing with itself and does what any good neighbor does. He conquers them. Then Philip dies and his bratty son takes over. He calls himself Alexander the Great and kills most of his relatives. Then he reads a book called the Iliad starring Brad Pitt and wants to be just like him. So he conquers Persia. Then he watches the Odyssey and conquers India. His troops get mad, like really mad. Hey dude, my shift ended like 4 years ago, said the troops. Sure, follow me, replied Alexander, and he led them back home, but not without a few pit stops. They get to Babylon and Alexander kicks the bucket. His empire is given to him, and him. And Greece stays kinda weird for a while.